After 18 years of being utterly ordinary, I finally felt I could shine. I was born to be a vampire.
It's so beautiful. We're the same temperature now.
I didn't expect you to seem so... you?
The saga does not continue.
Sagging is over.
Yes, or so they say. Yeah, get this bullshit over and out of here.
Done.
We're stepping out of the Twilight Zone, motherfuckers.
Put a fork in.
You just had to, didn't you?
Yeah.
You just why? Why?
I got more.
Wait,
Brian, why?
You
can do this
he only
all
just
day.
started. That's the low level.
That's what I'm talking
That's
about.
like don't get mad at that one. There's one. There's like 3 more he's going to do.
See,
That's when you want to get mad.
He's at the bottom of the barrel and he's working his way up. So
You guys just made me sit through fucking Twilight. Give me a break, all right? You told me we were going to see Red Dawn instead it was Breaking Dawn Part 2. Fuck all of y'all.
I thought it was Breaking Balls part 2. More appropriate.
No, that would be the review to follow,
Yes.
obviously.
Brian, you got to have balls first to break. You know what I'm saying? So stop with all those goddamn puns. All right?
All right.
No. Here, pun all you like. I'll just edit it out later.
Do what you will.
Yeah. No. Listen. I'm sitting up here talking about get that bullshit on out of here, but I'm gonna be that guy. I'm that guy that's gonna say
You're
this.
always that guy.
Wait, you're going to be that guy?
I'm gonna be
Corey,
that
As one who's been that guy for most of the year, you don't want to be that guy, man.
Oh,
just look. Stay on your safe little island. Give the movie the review. You know the people want you to say. Give it.
Is that how that works? No, man. I'm gonna be
Play it
strong,
safe, brother.
I'm
Play
gonna
it
be
safe.
strong. I'm gonna be strong. For once, I'm gonna come from the heart, man. I'm gonna be myself. I ain't gonna let
God.
nobody fuck with me. Ain't nobody gonna fuck with me and persuade me, muscle me to give them the review that they want. I'm coming from the heart here.
That's what we've been trying to teach you, Corey.
And I think that there's a lot more in this movie that works than doesn't work. And listen,
Whoa.
and listen,
That's strong.
see, that's the thing. People already want you to come in and say what they want you. It's one of those reviews, co-host.
Yeah.
You know, people already got their mind. People are at it. Before we even press record, people at home got their hands ringing. Oh, boy, I can't wait to hear this review because I know they're going to rail on this.
I can't wait to hear the slaughter.
Yeah, boy. I can't wait to hear the review that I want to hear.
I want to hear the screams of the Twilights.
But I have to say, man, no matter what you say here, you give this movie any kind of praise, it's going to be one of those things where they're going to take it and they're going to exaggerate your rating.
Oh, you love Twilight, don't
Exactly.
you? You just love Twilight.
Yeah, coming on stage, shuffling. Oh, look at you, Mr. Twilight. You just love that shit, don't you?
You homo.
Yeah, exactly. Faggot, what's your team mad with a Teen Jacob? Are you having a threesome with both of them? What the fuck is up with you?
You like sucking dick, don't you?
I'm enjoying how when it's me who has the controversial opinion, you are that guy going like, oh, you just hate that movie, or you just love that movie, don't you? Leon, you like nothing but bad movies this year. But now when it's you, you're a hero somehow. You're bucking the system. You're the brave one.
Hey, Leon.
You're the Rebel Alliance.
Leon, I'm a martyr, man. You know, I'm somewhat of a hero. You know, they threw the grenade in the room and I jumped on it. You know what I mean?
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become Corey's punching bag.
and also, that's you. I'm concerned about me.
Go ahead, Twilight lover.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Oh, yeah.
See, there you go.
There you go.
Let the hate begin.
Oh, my God.
That's what they used to do to people. When white people try to be friends with black people. Oh, what are you, man? You know the N-word lover and all that, man. See, you gonna do that now? Why you
Black
doing
people
that,
should
man?
be related more to Twilight than anything. Actually.
Yeah, exactly, man.
No, don't put that on us.
Wait, would you mean the movie with all the
problems.
pasty white people?
Yeah, learn your history, brother. No, listen. I'm just gonna say this right now, that I feel like this is the movie where you finally had a film where they said, okay, we know this is stupid. Finally, we're acknowledging this. Bill Condon is the director who came in, and by the way, Leon, he's the one that did Dreamgirls and Gods and Monsters. He didn't do Chicago.
Oh, okay.
That was
Okay.
Rob Marshall that did Chicago.
Okay, that's right, Rob Marshall.
Yeah, I was mixed up on that too.
Yeah.
But he said, I even think he started filming and just didn't even tell the studio, you know what, I ain't gonna take this shit seriously. You know, this is the last movie. I got my check, it's cashed, it's in the bank, and I'm done. This is I'm gonna talk about the improvements later, but this is the 5th movie. Now, tonight, Brian, you were saying, is this the 5th one? I was like, no, it's 4. And you said, no, it's 5. And I just like, man.
They took one last movie's worth of material and stretched that shit out into 2 movies.
That's right. It was 4 books, 5 movies.
Because we needed an entirely separate movie to tell the fucking last... Oh, God.
Well, hey, who doesn't love making money?
That's
And by the way, you talking to co-host who said they shouldn't have split Harry Potter in two. So, save that argument for somebody else.
I wanted them to keep splitting it until I didn't have to, really see it.
Until it was just nothing left. Until it was
nothing but a little stick, that magical wand.
It was wafer thin. But so this is the fifth movie. This is the last film in the series, as far as we know. That they may come back with Twilight babies or something. I don't know. Twilight babies.
I'll actually be in line to see
that.
that.
Stephanie Myers ain't gonna come back and decide to write one more lost chapter.
Haven't they already announced that they're looking at doing a reboot?
A TV series.
I'm
A reboot?
Yeah.
They're going to pull a Spider-Man?
Oh, yeah.
Then they're going to do a reboot of the reboot of the
Andrew
reboot.
Garfield's going to play all the parts. It's going to be amazing.
Well, in this one, so this is the continuing story, but it's almost, you could watch this as its own film. This is the one
When last we left our heroes.
Yes, meanwhile. So Edwin Bella, played by, I want to say Andrew Garfield. What's that boy's
You're
name?
welcome. Robert Pattinson.
Yeah, Robert
They both
Pattinson.
had that Jiffy Pop hair.
They do. They had hair that just did like
Don't quit.
like 2 stories tall. Is it? Concrete hard with all cement glue they put on there. No, it's
Renting out condos in the top part of his hair.
I actually have a room in Robert Pattinson's hair. yeah. It's
I
actually
saw
good real
vampires
estate.
flying from hair strand to hair strand.
No, it's
They jump real high.
this one is where
Edward and Bella.
Edward and Bella, yeah. Kristen Stewart is Bella, Rob Pattinson is Edward. And they, in the last movie, they finally they knocked boots and they had a kid, and now that kid is born, stakes are high. That kid is half human, half vampire. Everybody, Edward's family, even the wolves are happy. Jacob's coming in saying, I'm so happy, I'm gonna fuck that bitch.
Jacob had somebody to bang finally.
That was probably my favorite. The weirdest part about the last movie is that final shot where Jacob basically falls in love with a baby. Just like, I just died in your arms.
Yeah, tonight.
And then there's this scene in this one where he has to explain to Bella, oh, by the way, while you were sleeping, I imprinted on your infant child.
Which
Yeah.
apparently, which apparently imprinting is the popular thing to do because we all know Elmo's been imprinting for years now. Apparently,
Wow, man, damn, you went around the block on Saturday. You should bring that one in here.
Yeah, he went by Mr. Rogers' neighborhood.
why do you think the world's Team Elmo? Come on, man.
By the way, I like the way they say the wolves call it imprinting. Motherfuckers, pedophilia. But
That's
anyway,
what I was going to say. Is imprinting used to land you on an FBI watch list,
Yeah,
but now
yes.
apparently it's just something they can't control.
yeah. But so as you can see, everybody's happy. They're so happy they even throwing the infant out there to get married to some guy when she's not even full grown yet. But the people who aren't so pleased about this, the Volturi back in Europe, they're the vampires that make the rule.
Yeah, they're the council.
They're the council.
Like, what are the assholes?
The
of
legend
vampires?
is any kind of half-bred, hybrid like this is going to be the death of all of us. And this cannot stand.
Yeah, exactly. Back home, they're saying, congratulations. The Volturi saying, I'll be goddamn. and Michael Sheen, who plays the head vampire, he's like, oh, let's go to America and kill them motherfuckers. That baby's going to get us all exposed. So, as you can see here, this is the one where you've been hearing all the rumors about it. This is the one where we have the big battle.
Their goal isn't punishment, it's power, it's acquisition. Carlisle might not ask you to fight, but I will. For the sake of my family, but also for yours. And for the way you want to live.
The Pax will fight. We've never been afraid of vampires.
We will fight.
This won't be the first time I've fought a king's rule.
We'll join you.
We will stand with you.
So will we.
That didn't take much.
Let's hope it doesn't come to that.
We'll see.
This is the one where they come in and they clash, and this is going to basically this is, I mentioned Harry Potter. This is the Harry Potter.
Well,
This is what Harry Potter should have been. Right?
Slow down. Hey, but it's funny. Like this is like those the Anne Rice vampire books where you got to Queen of the Damned, where before they were kind of like more. Not that this series was more adult, but it was more cerebral stuff that was going on. But you get to the third book, Queen of the Damned, it's just pretty much a big all-out superhero battle.
I was going to say, I don't know what you guys are talking about. This is clearly an X-Men movie. They spend the whole movie gathering vampires with superpowers to fight the Volturi.
Yeah.
And it just comes down to this one big battle. It's clearly like I'm like, are they breaking their own rules again? Like, this guy can control the elements. This guy can electric. I'm like, what? Was this mentioned in a previous movie?
You know, it's funny that you bring up rules because
Actually, yeah.
I never understood
Was it?
this. I never understood this series to have any rules, which is why when they brought up when they ended up bringing in all these vampires with superpowers, I was like, you know what? Maybe if they would have done this earlier, I would have really enjoyed this series because it actually this whole like being introduced to new vampires, it kind of like, I don't know, it made the movie that much more exciting for me at least.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's like I can't even believe I've paid attention enough to know this. But they have been introducing this all along. Like you had the one vampire, Alice, who can see the future. And then when they saw the Volturi, you had Dakota Fanning, who could, like, you know, had her Cruciatus curse, where she just had people in pain. They always talked about vampires having, like, a special sub-ability.
But that's the thing. They always talked about it.
Well, they would
really
show a little bit.
They
did it a little bit,
They didn't make it, like, the whole focus, where this time they're like, hey, this is the last movie. We got to pull out all the stops and just fully go for it.
Leon's right, except that several times during this movie, the vampires look at each other, and I'm not making this up, and go, is that possible? Can they do that? It's like they don't even know. Like, what the fuck was the rule again? I can't remember. I didn't read the first
Well, it
book.
seems to be like so everybody has like some talent, and if you focus on it, you ply your craft, you hone it, you could be a superhero.
And Brian, let's keep in mind that there was not a white bald man in a wheelchair to get their powers in line. I let them know there was no school there. There was no Professor Xavier. But I have never been as much of a stickler to this is how vampires should be as a lot of people are with this series. This series, they probably did it in a way that appealed to girls, and guys hated it with the glittering thing. And I'll tell you, that's stupid. But I never, and I admitted in the first movie I said that's stupid, but I never thought, okay, nobody should be able to change vampires because we've changed monsters all the time. We've done this with several things. This series has a lot more problems going for it than that thing right there. But in this film in particular, besides them just being able, this is the one where I'm not snickering because it's actually stupid. There are some things that are dumb. You got to keep in mind, it is a Twilight movie. There are things in there that are appealing to the Twilight fans and what they call them, twee girls or some shit. Twihard, yeah, twangers, Twihard. Yeah, there's a lot of elements in there that are going to appeal to them. It's still something that boyfriends are not going to be. They're not going to be anxious to go out and see with their girlfriends. But I will say, while you're there, there are some improvements that you'll see. I think that they have some lines that you can intentionally laugh. It could have been really absolutely stupid, this whole imprinting thing that Jacobs does on this kid that they have. But even the way they've written it in the script, they know it's ridiculous, and they have Bella react in a way where it is stupid, and she actually has some lines that seems to address that.
Yeah, if they hadn't acknowledged that, then it'd be like, I don't know what to think of this. I can't take it seriously at all. So the fact that she does say, like, what the fuck, dude?
Well,
because that's what we're saying.
Yeah, and the thing is that I don't know if sneaking around and cheating on Rob has made her a better actress, but she completely sold me this time around just with scenes like that where I'm like, oh, man, she's
Can I tell you why
acting her ass off.
That's probably the case because in this one, she's no longer going out and going around with a fucking bottom lip 2 miles ahead of her, looking like she just been sniffing airplane glue and she don't know what the fuck is happening. And this one, she's she's got her superpowers.
She's playing a character now.
Yeah, she's a character. She's a full vampire. It's made her a stronger character, and she's a mother.
Yeah,
so,
it's the first time this character's been proactive.
Exactly,
just sitting around waiting for everybody else to do things.
And what I love about that is she had to become a vampire before she seemed like a real person in this franchise. There's a scene in this movie where they're teaching her how to be a human being, and I'm like, where the fuck were you guys 4 movies ago when we really needed you?
Yeah,
she was always
you're
a
not lying about that. I gotta say, like, I spent the first I wasn't sure how I felt about this movie. Like, I couldn't get an accurate bead on my feelings. I mean, for 2 reasons. One being that I had fucking Brian Salisbury giggling and talking out loud to his friends through the whole thing. I'm like, man, as much as you complain about that shit at Alamo Drafthouse, you should be ashamed of yourself.
First of all, It felt great to do that at this movie because every time we go to a press screening and all those chatty ass teenagers are in my ear and it pisses me off, I'm like, no. Now that you're legitimately here to see this, I can get my fucking revenge. And I enjoyed
you
every
got your
bit.
revenge on me.
Yeah.
You want to sit next to you.
I actually looked. We have fought. Yeah, Brian. I was going to save up to call you on this, man. Brian, I love you. You've been a great addition here.
Yeah, but
you know, and you're a very smart guy. But
You
Brian,
are.
you were pulling that snob critic thing where I hate this, and I'm going to let everybody know by laughing out loud. I don't mind you laughing, and I don't mind you cheering for things that you don't like. But God damn it, there's a part where Bella touched a rock.
And you're like,
I looked over at Leon because you thought I was smart at you. Like, yeah, that's sure. But I looked over at Leon. I was like, what the fuck is he laughing about?
and I was like, I don't know.
First of all, it was an arm wrestling scene I was laughing about, which means I guess none of you have seen Over the Top, which is what I was fucking laughing about.
No,
it seems like a scene out of
later.
Over
It
the
was like
Top.
when the movie first started, and she was just the dude was climbing a rock, and a rock gave way under his hand. You're like,
Brian, you know what? Normally,
I don't know what the fuck
normally
you
I would join you in. I would join in on the laughter with you. But at this point, especially 5 movies into the series, looking at you laughing like that, I almost imagine you like punching on a retarded kid. I'm like, Brian, come on, man.
And then laughing at him.
It was a lot of fun.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I being too mean to the Twilight franchise, guys? I'm sorry. Fuck you guys.
please stop. Why are you hitting yourself? Why are you hitting yourself? Don't do
You
that.
all do love this franchise secretly. Look at you.
I'm saying, man.
You were Ben Affleck from Days of Confused. That's what we're looking at you like, dude, come on.
I will paddle this movie to no end. I don't even fucking
Man,
care.
I'm saying, look, if you want, I'm telling you, I'm not defending the movie. If you're predisposed to not liking the movie, I'm not here to try to change your mind. I'm not trying to change a goddamn thing, whether I like this or not. I'm just saying, you know, save it for the appropriate moments. I mean, don't wait for the title to come on screen like, fuck you.
Yeah. But you know what? But you know what? After saying all that, after giving Brian such a hard time right now,
Jesus
I
Christ already.
I was really shocked by his reaction to the end of the movie.
I know, me
during
too.
the battle. This motherfucker was all of a sudden cheering
For
when
10
all
minutes,
the action was going on.
This movie ruled.
Yeah.
For 10 fucking... I'm going to say the most decapitations I've ever seen in a PG-13 movie. I don't know. Pretty close.
Yeah.
It was remarkable.
No, it was. It was one of those things where I was surprised that they were going that far, especially knowing who their target audience is by now. I actually have to salute the director for just going, hey, man, we didn't forget about you, dude, who's either going to be dragged here or you're going to have to review this goddamn movie. Because moments like that, I was like, wow, you know, it seems like the director is very self-aware of this entire audience. The people who get dragged to see it and, you know, the fans. So he was catering to the fans, but also to the people who aren't really into, like, the Twilight series by bringing in certain things that make a movie just enjoyable by ridiculous characters, like kind of winking like, we know this is ridiculous, so the characters are going to respond to it.
I'm real glad there was that payoff, because I got to say, up until that payoff, that first 90 minutes, I mean, outside of like me trying to tune out Brian, I was bored as shit. Yeah. I was just like, man, I can't stay awake in this. Okay, you're assembling things, but people are talking and not really saying anything that means anything. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? I realize what bugs me about this series of movies, because it's not that it's cheesy. Sure, it is. The vampires sparkle and it's kind of teeny bopperish, but that's fine. It's just how poorly the characters are written and how poorly they act and direct, where they just don't act like real people. And I was like, y'all can be cheesy and have dumb shit, but act real to where I don't believe in them at all. And Edward and Bella, you know, especially Edward, I thought Rob Pattinson was just absolutely terrible in this. Like Kristen Stewart was finally acting rings around him for the first time. But yes, everything, like usually at 90 minutes, I've given up on a movie. I was like, I could walk out now, it's not gonna get any better. This has proven me wrong.
Brian, by the way, welcome. Now you realize just how big of assholes we are.
I feel like I just got beaten in the prison yard. What the fuck?
Yeah, we shanked you and then raped the wound.
Over Twilight. Out of
Now,
sorry.
it's not like we went and got the film rep and brought him back and like, hey, this guy won't be quiet and he's ruining the movie.
I would have been proud to have been thrown out of a Twilight movie. Are you kidding me? I would have won that like a fucking badge of honor.
I can't wait to. Well, I wish I could be a fly on the wall when you have this conversation with your wife tonight. These fucking assholes, man. Jesus Christ! I thought
my friends.
I thought I had some allies, man.
I am a little curious what would have happened if we were in an Alamo Drafthouse Theater.
I I would have been making the same noise. Again, probably would have been thrown
Tim
out.
League would have turned around and go, "Hey, shut up!"
We would have had another bumper before the movie of Twilight.
I know,
I can't believe you kicked me out for fucking laughing at Twilight. I laughed at every other theater at Twilight. How come I can't do it at your movie theater?
I live in the United States of America.
Not a mistake of the Twilight.
Thanks a lot for being assholes, guys. Spill in Alamo. Yeah.
But it would have been a message I left in Robert Pattinson's voicemail, so it wouldn't have made any sense at all.
No, we all would have heard it. No, but hey, no, Leon, you know what? I agree with you. I can't say that I was bored through the whole thing. Like I said, I guess I was more interested in seeing how they were improving on this movie. There's no way that they're going to get out of the quagmire. Wow, I just can't believe I used that word. But I can't believe
good usage of it.
Here's your SAT word for the day.
Hopefully you'll use it correctly.
Yeah, they can't pull themselves
Giggity,
completely.
giggity.
Yeah, giggity goo. That baby sure was fine. Giggity, giggity. Nah, I'm going to say that they can't pull themselves completely out the quagmire of the previous films.
Right.
And I remember the one that I think was that we liked. I'm using like.
Yeah, there's a third one.
There's a third one where we thought, okay, it's all right.
It was tighter and there was some action.
Yeah, this one is kind of the movie that movie had potential for. For me, I was interested in seeing how this was. I think a competently directed movie. Now, and I'm saying that about purely the direction. I'm not talking about the direction of the actors, because the actors still have to say dialogue in this movie that is utterly horrible.
Yes.
I mean,
Nobody can change.
Because it still has to come from the book.
Yeah, exactly. There's certain ways that they give exposition that you just say, okay, no, I don't care how well this actor is, the way he's saying this shit, it still ain't that good. But Bill Condon is the best director that this series has had. That first movie, when I was saying the first half of this film, they did stretch that out. But in this one, I thought that they were able to pack this in with a lot of interesting things. I agree with you that the movie does go through a lull in the middle. That was a point where I'm saying, okay, now it's hit a wall. I'm losing interest here. And shortly thereafter, then they brought the climax. But see, I'm with you, Coles, where I thought, yeah, fuck, man. These vampires, all of a sudden, they have X-Men powers and all that kind of stuff. But this is not a terrible movie. This is more of the equivalent of something such as Percy Jackson to me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a movie that wants to be a bigger film, and it can't be that bigger film, but it's still it's just okay where it is.
Well, just with some of the ridiculousness of it, where I think this succeeds over Percy Jackson, because I mean there's characters that they were introducing in this that I was just like laughing out loud, like just not so much that it was so. Well, no, I take it back. It was so bad it fell into the realm of good. Like they have these two vampires
Count
that came
Chocula.
straight. Yeah,
Count Chocula
yeah,
and Dracula.
Count Chocula's relatives. His sons came down to help, and they're
Count.
putting on. Yeah,
It's the Count and Count Chocula.
yeah, and they're putting on this like ridiculous Transylvania. Oh yes, we came to help.
Now it is the time to strike.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Taco Bell Lugosi was there.
One of them looked like Count Malfoy, which is the other thing that was
He did.
yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Shut up, Draco.
But you can't help but like laugh. But at the same time, I was like, this is actually it's the ridiculousness of it is fun to me. It really was. I mean, all these characters that were bringing in that had all these powers, and the battle scene. I have to admit, I've always wanted to see a battle scene with werewolves and vampires. Sure, they may not be fighting against each other, but this is pretty close to where, I mean, like I said, like Brian said, there's plenty of head ripping scenes and plenty enough just to go, wow, whoever was thinking about this battle really had it thoroughly thought out.
Yeah,
where
they did.
There's something always going on. The camera is not doing that annoying thing of just being all over the place. They're focusing on certain fights, and I was just like really captivated by how fun it was.
It's weird. It's like I was going through an existential crisis watching it, because it was like characters I didn't give a shit about were getting killed, and I was like, oh my god, I actually kind of felt that. That's weird. And I didn't know what to do with myself, and I was like, all right, you've finally given me 10 minutes of a movie I can watch. And then
I can't argue with what you're saying, because it's just those parts that probably bothered you a lot. I totally understand. And for me, I watched it, and I have to be honest. Like I was saying, this is not a bad movie. This is not the movies that I was making fun of earlier. It's a film where if you have to be there, and I'm not saying that a lot of guys are going to run out and see it, but if you catch yourself being there, if you catch it on TV, for whatever reason, I don't think it's totally devoid of entertainment value. That's the parts that are laughable, that are laughably bad. You're still being entertained by them. The parts that are actually entertaining, I felt that were done genuinely. They were done genuinely well.
Directed well.
Yeah, directed well. I don't. Again, I don't want to try to push people. If you don't like it and you don't want to see it, then there's nothing that's going to change your mind. You're going to go in and nitpick it, and you're going to find any reason to say that this is a shitty film, and you're going to laugh at it and make fun of it. Like Brian Sandman. But, no, I'm messing with you, Brian. Brian, no, you don't like that shit. We have finally found your weakness, man.
Achilles heel.
Brian has lots of weaknesses. We just found a new one. I love, like, my nickname for him is Steak Plissken, but I'm thinking of making it Max Cady instead.
Yeah. Hey, Brian.
That's actually a cool image. I dig that.
Brian,
I'm trying to like make my way through this.
Brian, we love you, man. We really do. We wouldn't say this if we didn't love you.
Oh, I don't believe that.
Come on. But again,
We're showing you that Twilight kind of love.
and I can't say more about the climax than what you guys did, except that don't allow me to build this up for you, because it's still a PG-13 movie. It's still bloodless. There's a lot of limbs being torn apart. There's a lot of heads coming off, but you're not going to see blood spurting all over the place. But it's still kind of shocking when you see certain characters go, and the fact that they just go this far. I mean, there's some of the beheadings in here are really brutal, and then they're gonna pull something that's either going to make you laugh harder or it's going to make you say, "Oh, fuck you." I was on the side where I thought that's kind of funny.
All I said was, I don't know if any of this is in the book, but thank you.
Yeah. So I'm save it, people. Save it. I'll come at me. I don't give a fuck either way it goes. I'm gonna give it a matinee.
Damn, you liked it better than James Bond. All right.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. Just give it a matinee. You clearly think it's a good movie.
I gave James Bond. Okay,
Stop looking at me, Leon. I'm not getting involved.
I know. And I had to stop. Okay, I looked at you, looking at Coach. I said,
Leon,
Quick, co-host, throw the knife on the ground.
review is never going to end.
I wasn't even thinking about. I don't know what's happening, but stop, Corey, stop. But I couldn't stop. What you mean, man? Hey, you fucking with me for a moment.
It's like he's talking to you, but he's looking right at me like, huh?
And you know what? And I have to say that's a low matinee, because it's still not a very good story. But I got to give it credit for making what story that was there entertaining to me.
I kind of feel like these vampires glamored you into thinking this is a better movie than what you actually just saw. Now,
maybe so, but I told you I'm not changing.
Look, I will say this. Of the series,
Hey, Gary Glitter did the same thing to a lot of kids. Yeah, he was the original Twilight vampire. Goddamn it! All right? He was the first glittering pedophile vampire ever.
Gary Glitter.
I know. Come on, man. I just jumped on Brian.
Yeah,
man.
we try to teach Brian something.
Hey, I still got a whole shopping list of them. Come on.
You beat Brian, actually. That whole Elmo shit. Now this. Come on, man.
You know what? I don't think this movie is terrible like so many of the others. There's nothing that will make me say it's good, because it was more boring me than making me roll my eyes and talk about how silly it is. I mean, yeah, the problems with the dialogue. Okay, we talked so much about the things that we don't like, but something else I got to say about this. These movies make a shitload of money. They make so much money that there's no excuse for the CG on the werewolf still looking this bad.
Oh, thank you. You're right.
Absolutely.
You're right. The CG is still a weakness here.
Yeah.
No. The CG I thought was the absolute worst, which was extremely appalling. Was the CG baby and the CG?
Yes.
Why can't they just get a real baby? I mean, I love Andy Serkis in this movie, and he'll probably win an Oscar for it. But get a real fucking baby.
I want to write a letter to the director and just ask him, like, why? Why? That makes no fucking sense.
It's horrible. That baby, the kid who plays as Mackenzie Foy, and they put her face on a CG baby or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's fucked up. It looks it looks
creepy and fucking strange.
Yeah.
It takes you out of the movie. And I can understand if that's for like responsible parenting, because I would understand anybody reading the script does not want their child to be involved in a movie where you got an imprinting teenager lusting after your baby. But yeah, that should change.
Yeah.
But Leon's absolutely right. Like, and it's not just that. It's like everything is CG. They put green screen for interiors. Like,
Yes.
you can't location scout a house.
Right.
Like, they're just inside. tried.
Yeah, it's stuff like that where I'm like, man, you guys aren't trying, and you know you could. It's like you're really grubbing for every dollar you can get. You already got this built-in audience. You're gonna make a ton of money. Give back a little bit. Now, the one give back is the battle, which clearly the movie is saving up for that, and it's good enough. It's one of those things where like, can't believe I got to put up with all this shit to get nothing in return, and you get something. And the battle is awesome, and it's brutal, and it's that kind of brutal and fast and furious to the point where I didn't even notice there wasn't blood. I mean, I understand you're not going to have a bunch of blood squirts in a PG-13 movie, but it was effective and fun, and I actually liked everything even past that. I mean, there's a little thing that happens, but also something that it's going to be a polarizing thing. Either you love it or you hate it. But I kind of liked what they did at the end, where they have a big kind of goodbye to everybody for the entire series. Because everybody who's been, the kids who are really into it, who've been following it, it's like, rather than giving them like, all right, it's over, go home, it's just a movie, it's kind of like, hey, you know what? This is what you loved. Get your one last time to say goodbye to everybody.
I'm actually glad they didn't do that in Harry Potter, because we would have been in the theater for like 4 fucking days.
We would have been looking like Dumbledore by the end of the
but I would have liked maybe if on the DVD or Blu-ray they had something like that. Just
like an Oscar reel, like People We Lost.
Yeah,
just all the characters from Harry Potter that had died.
Yeah, it was just something I thought was kind of sweet. This matinee is not even in my vocabulary for this, but I will give it. I'm looking at kind of like a low rental.
Okay, and I want to say something else about the CG. Did they have to get up and run for everything?
Seriously, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, Bella gets up to just get a book off the shelf, and she's like,
and the thing is, and their effect for the speed is the same they use on Smallville. And like
Smallville did it better.
Well, but Smallville's like a little TV show.
Yeah.
With a small budget. And this is a gigantically budgeted movie. It's
I kept wondering if the director was kind of like fucking with this, because every time they had a scene like that, you would hear this cartoon like sound of it. Like,
I expected like the Fred Flintstone running sound.
Yeah, like the pitter patter.
And then when a bunch of them run away, you hear that Benny Hill music. When a large group of them run to the woods.
You're making me love this movie even more, Corey.
There are more speed ramps in this movie than a game of Excite Bike. It's fucking ridiculous.
Damn, Excite Bike, boy, you pulled that
I
up.
know. Damn, you went back.
I love it.
Go ahead, bro.
You know what? It really conflicts me that I was legitimately enjoying this movie for 10 minutes. Like to my core, that kind of shakes me a little bit. But luckily, luckily they didn't let
shake
that
you some
last.
more, Brian.
They
shake you.
they didn't let that one moment of pure enjoyment last, and the rest of the movie is a lot of the same shit. And you could call it nitpicking, but it's just like Liam was saying, there are things that are indefensible based on how much money that these movies have made. The fact that they're just not putting any effort into it is really my biggest problem. It's not the story, it's not the acting, it's just the laziness. But because of that fucking battle scene, it's getting a little rental from me.
Oh, you hate it, or you hate yourself right now, don't you?
I really do.
That's what I love. Brian's like, yes, no.
You feel like shit, Brian, huh?
I hate myself.
Brian looks like Jacob right now, wondering if it's okay to fuck the baby.
Yeah, that's kind of how I
battle
feel.
within you.
This movie imprinted on me, and I didn't want it. I didn't ask for it, but there it is.
That stinging you feel right now, Brian, that's pride.
Fucking with this. Fuck pride.
You know? Oh, you be fucking her.
Everybody loves Twilight. Fuck you.
Walking out of this, the first thing I thought was, God, I hope nobody really asked me how I felt about this movie, because there's a good chance I'm going to tell them I actually liked it. And I'm just like, ooh, I feel like I need to hide for like a couple of weeks. But hey, you know what? I'll take it one step away from Corey. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie all the way through.
Oh, man.
Call me. Maybe it's because of Smallville that I get involved in such stupid romances that is so stupid and cheesy. But you know what? I love cheese. I love that. I love that.
Good, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that shitty nacho cheese you get at 7-Eleven. I keep pouring it until I can't pour it no more. It's hot and steamy, and I'm into it. I love it. I put some jalapenos in it to make it interesting. And the jalapenos in this movie, the jalapenos was the battle for me.
We'd have to call you
the
Queso 3000.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know if I disagree with you or if I'm just hungry at this point.
It's okay to be broke, but don't worry. But yeah, I mean, there's something about it where I definitely think we have boldly gone where no man has gone before in watching these movies.
All of them, right.
all of them. Me and Corey, it was funny. I was hoping at the end of that last reel where they were showing scenes from from all the movies before. I was waiting to see me and Corey sitting at that pajama party, that midnight pajama party that we went to. I was waiting for us to be in the theater just like going, oh, man, this isn't so bad.
I was telling Brian tonight about our experience of going to see the first Twilight movie. We went there and there were a bunch of girls in pajamas. I told co-host we were walking out, I was like, it feels like we just fucking crawled through a 14-year-old's window, man. And she's having a slumber party.
Yeah, because that's new for you guys.
It goes like, I know, right?
Yeah, high five. Right at home.
Brought my Elmo puppet and everything.
I brought graham crackers and marshmallows.
Man, but I mean, I'm sorry. There's a lot to be entertained in this movie, and I think I salute the director. The director made it easy to swallow for me. He sprinkled that glitter on there and that sugar.
Yeah,
I mean, but
bad choice of words. When you're talking about Twilight and liking it, bad.
I'm sorry.
You like that dick?
Hey,
but I'm right there with you, man. Look, I'm right there with you.
It was a lot of fun.
It was a sparkly dick.
The director made it easily, just easily taken and stop laughing. But hey, I mean, yeah, sure, it has its flaws, but at this point, who gives a shit? It's the last movie. I'm giving it a goddamn matinee. I'm sorry, a full-on matinee.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for me.
And next time you see co-host and I'm going to have Team Edward, and he's going to have Team Jacob on his shirt.
That's right. Team everyone, shit.
We're going to wear them together when we go see this movie again.
That's right.
And again and again.
We're going to be there at the Alamo fucking Twilight-a-thon.
What is it, Alice?
Volturi. They're coming for us.
If enough people knew the truth, maybe we could convince the Volturi to listen. My family's in danger. I need your help. We'll join you.
We will stand with you.
A lot of red eyes around here.